Everybody, come on in. This is the Daily Bern. This is the war room of the political revolution. We gather here every day at 7 and we talk about this fight and we motivate each other and we push each other moving forward. This is the home of the political revolution, the war room. So come on in, like and share. Let me know you're here. Hey Dion, hey Heath, Jack. How you guys doing? Good to see people here in both places. Jack says, how's it going today for you guys? It's going great. It's going great, Jack. Found out we have a rat in the house. We're going to get into that. We'll talk about that a little while. Found out we have a rat in the house. Someone exposed themselves for who they really are. It's a little shocking. I didn't see it coming. I haven't seen most of this coming, though. But Tulsi Gabbard ended her role in the progressive movement by ending her campaign and endorsing Joe Biden. That was unexpected. But does that change anything? No. And again, it's just someone else showing us who they really are. Someone we thought was with us in this fight, but it turns out we were wrong about them. There's no way that we could have known that. Nobody should blame themselves for trusting or believing in Tulsi Gabbard. But we just move forward. We put it behind us and we move forward. I know it hurts. I know that knife in the back, that particular knife in the back, hurts. But it's best to just forget about it and keep moving forward. She was never on our team to begin with. That's what she showed us. You know, I don't know what political moves she was making by the actions that she made in 2015. But if she believed in our movement and cared about the people and believed in what she says she believes in, she could not have endorsed Joe Biden. So our roads have come to a crossroads, and Tulsi's went the path most taken. We're going to continue forward on our path. This fight does not stop. She just stops being part of it with us. But welcome back. This is the Daily Bern, the war room of the revolution. And we need to talk. We need to, because I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to. You know, I am having a lot of problems on social media. I don't know if a lot of you are. Well, I know some of you are. But they are having an aggressive campaign going after anyone speaking against the powers that be. And right now, guys, that's us. We are the only fight in this game. We are the only ones fighting back against what really lords over us and what really stands in everyone's way, in all of humanity's way. We all have the same enemies, and we are the only ones fighting them. And this is the only thing that will make change happen. So we must move forward, no matter what. Hell, the other day, we just got done talking about how we move forward without Bernie even. This keeps going. We have an opportunity to make massive change happen. And I think we are running out of time. I think we all understand that. I think we all understand that this must happen and must happen now. and may not happen in the voting booths. But Bernie's still fighting. Did you see what he had to say to that CNN reporter who had the nerve to ask him what he's going to do with his campaign when he's already acting like he's the next president? He's dealing with a global pandemic right now. And that's what he told him. I'm dealing with a fucking global pandemic. You think that's enough for me to worry about today? You know, he's handling this like a real leader. That's what's going on. He's acting presidential. I don't see him acting like somebody that's about to quit. And I hope that he understands that what we have to do here has to happen now, and that the only real path to victory is for him to go third party. But if he doesn't, we don't stop. This don't stop. We keep going. This is about us. Christine says we need a third party. Bernie must take the helm now. This is the perfect time. The perfect opportunity, and it's the only clear path to defeating Donald Trump. Look, I know Bernie has a lifetime of integrity, a lifetime of loyalty, and a lifetime of a pattern of behaviors that would lead you to believe that no matter what, he's going to back Biden. But I'm telling you, logically, it makes no sense. The only way to beat Donald Trump, to move what Bernie has spent his lifetime fighting for forward, the only way to do that would be to run third party. If the Democrats are dead set and committed, as we all see that they are, in rigging their primary, which is exactly what they're doing. They did not win this primary. They rigged it. They're rigging it. I think they're doing more rigging, manipulation, than they even did in 2016. And then you pair this virus on top of it. The amount of voter suppression is immense. They decided to do this. They put him in this position a second time. So integrity be damned. There's only one way forward. There's only one way to win. He says, is it possible that Bernie is the messenger for someone greater to come later? We don't have time. I really don't think so. And I'm not trying to be some extremist that's preaching fear. That's not what I'm trying to do. I really think that the powers that be will never allow this kind of an opportunity again. Look what you're already seeing with this massive censorship and suppression of the truth. The other day, you couldn't post anything negative about Joe Biden. They take it down. It goes against community standards. You know, they will manipulate what you see, and they do manipulate what you see. They do manipulate what gets out. We have to understand that this censorship is real. And you always got to look at, how to find your real enemy and what's really going on. Find out what you can't talk about, what you're not allowed to talk about. Those are usually the most important things. Carol says, send some vibes my way. I'm in Minnesota and it ain't legal here. Boo. Talking to Jack. Yeah, Jack, send some good vibes everybody's way. Oregon. Damn lucky son of a bitch. Jack lives in Oregon, which has some of the most liberal cannabis rights in this country. But, good news, one of the things we're moving to change and pushing to do is to legalize cannabis on the federal level, because we understand that it is a miracle plant and not a dangerous drug and is beneficial to society. So that's one of the main things we're doing. So Carol, we're going to send some good vibes your way, because it is a crime against humanity that cannabis is illegal. Most of the things we're pushing for, most of the things we're fighting for, the fact that we don't have them, are crimes against humanity. It's a crime against humanity in the United States that people aren't guaranteed health care. We walk around like we have it so great and that we're so awesome. Most of us would be financially crippled by any serious injury or illness. That's a crime against humanity. Especially when you start taking into account that all over the world, every country in our economic status guarantees health care to their people. We're the only ones that don't. The living wage. How does a capitalist society survive and thrive when the people cannot afford to spend money? They don't have extra money. They can't buy products. Capitalist society depends on selling products, drawing in revenue. If everybody's living paycheck to paycheck and barely can survive, barely pay their rent, how do you have a thriving capitalist society? So a living wage should make sense to literally everyone. And it's a crime that people have to or are not able to live with dignity that work 40 hours a week. Some have 2 jobs. And these people can't keep their head above water. And that's a crime. Jack says the stock market is 11,000 plus points in 2 weeks. It is way below when Trump took office. You know, I don't know much about the stock market. It's not a good barometer. I think it's a good barometer of our economy, but it's not a good barometer of how people are actually doing. You know, I know it's bad that it's down as low as it is, though. And it's one of the reasons why I'm worried that Jack says this is the biggest crash in history. I'm worried that this is a lot worse than they're letting on. I think a lot more is going on than they're saying. I think things are getting ready to get very bad for Americans. And this is the time to wake up, and it is our last chance. We must keep standing. We must get more to stand, and we must do it now. We have to win. We have to keep moving forward. Their system is collapsing. They're in their death throes. They're desperate. They're doing everything they can to hold on to their power. Because it was never really Bernie that was the threat. We are the threat. This is about us. And they need to break our spirit and get us to back down and get us to lay down and get us to quit. Well, we're not going to. We can't. This is our moment. This is our time. And this must happen now. So we keep moving forward. We keep doing all we can. We keep pushing. We keep waking people up. You know, hell, we still have the internet. Let's keep using it. Do all you can. Spread all the truth you can. Inform all those that you can. But try to be as productive as you can with your time as possible. Don't spend a lot of time mentally exhausting yourself, beating away at the same dead horses. Get creative. You know, but understand that that's our role. That's what we do, and it doesn't even change or stop. No matter what happens. We keep going. We've done a lot. We've changed the whole damn narrative. We've informed and woke up a lot of people. We've done a great deal. And people get caught up in focusing only on the campaign. The Bernie Sanders campaign is one thing in many things that we're doing. It's a big part of what we're doing. But we're trying to change an entire society that is driven by greed and corruption. Tear it down and build it back up into something of justice and compassion for the people. Literally change everything. So that's going to be fought violently. And that's what you're seeing. But we're winning. We're pushing through. And we have to keep going. We can't let them break us no matter what happens. Can't let us stop. Barbara says, thank you. Thank you. Thank every one of you that is doing all that you can, that has done all that you can, that has done all this work. There are millions of volunteers dedicated to this movement and to this revolution, and millions more working every day to spread the truth and wake people up and spread awareness. So there are a ton of people out there that need to be thanked and need to know that all of our efforts are meaningful. And this is happening. Like I said, way before, a long time ago, been saying it forever, they're going to make it look like we're losing all the way up until we win. I said we'll be told no in every creative way you can possibly imagine. Well, it's happening. There's things that we didn't expect. But they're in their death throes, and we are winning. Eric says declaring state of emergency could also mean no election until we're back to normal. Oh, they can cancel the primary. They can't cancel the general election, though. So really what they need to do at this point is to just make the ticket Trump, Biden, and Bernie. That's really the only fair way to move forward. Because honestly, I know the media is hyping the shit out of how we're so far behind, but we're really not. We're not doing great in the election, in the actual delegate count, but we're not so far behind that Bernie should be dropping out. You know, even with all the rigging, even with all the fraud, even with all the suppression, we're doing pretty damn good, actually. You know, I'm pretty sure that we're still in a better position than Obama was, and he was a 2-term president. So I don't think there's any reason for them to be talking about Bernie dropping out. But Raymond says this fight will go on long after the November election. This fight does not stop. This fight keeps going. Our role in this fight and our responsibility in this is a normal thing. It's just something we've never been taught or trained for. We aren't prepared or taught how to participate in democracy. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when you have an involved population keeping people accountable. We're getting through. We're making ourselves known, so don't despair and don't feel broken. And know that you are warriors, every one of you that are out there fighting every day, every one of you that are dedicated to this and to making this happen, every one of you that understands that our ownership of this is what makes it happen. You guys are all warriors. Jack says, Fouquet, the mainstream media. They are not our friend, just saying. No, the mainstream media is a direct enemy of society. The mainstream media is a weapon used against society on a constant basis. That's all it is. Every channel, no matter what flavor you watch, unless you're seeking out independent news and independent truth and looking for real media and real journalists, if you're watching the mainstream media, you're getting weaponized propaganda. And it's at best entertainment. It is not news. It is not information. It is no way to inform yourself. It's garbage. And it's one of their biggest tools. It's something they use. They have society brainwashed. It's not that people are dumb or stupid, really. Well, I wish that was true. There is a large problem with stupidity, but it's not all that. It's mostly a lifetime of indoctrination and brainwashing, reinforced by the mainstream garbage propaganda media that is filled with talking heads and that read off teleprompters a script that is designed to make you feel like, first off, that you're in the greatest country on earth. Well, you're not. You're not. Maybe at one time we were statistically up there. We're not anymore. In almost any category. You're lied to believing that myth. But they push it. From the time you're little, they feed you a false history of the world. They feed you a false narrative of reality. And then they continue to do it every night on the evening news. So that's what we're up against. That's our enemy. And that's why our job is to be the media. Because the media is bought off. It's a fact. It's a fact. I'm also the conspiracy theory guy, but this is no conspiracy. It's true. Every network, every TV channel, every magazine, every newspaper, every movie that you see, everything, all of it is owned by 6 corporations. You can trace it all back to 6 boardrooms. So it is all condensed and consolidated. And the narrative is controlled. And then you have the fact that the CIA infiltrated the media in the 50s through Operation Mockingbird with the expressed intention to make sure that everything the American people believed, everything the American people thought was false. And Obama legalized propaganda to be used against the American people. The Democrats did a big job of helping this along. Not that the Republicans are innocent. There's been a lot of great legislation passed along the decades that has chiseled away at our freedoms and our rights. But most people are oblivious to that. Most people don't understand. Carol says, "You give me hope, guys, and it gives me the strength to keep fighting." That is exactly what I wanted this to be. The War Room. A place where we can inspire each other. And I have to say, we have a very great comment section. Always have. We've never really gotten that big or gotten out that far. And I know that is 100% due to Facebook suppression and only Facebook suppression. It has nothing to do with anything else. But we have a great core group. I'm really proud of that. So, mission accomplished. Pat on the back. This is a very great, very good place to come, especially if you're feeling down about this fight or feeling despair about it, or just need to refocus on what it is we're doing. Because none of this garbage that's happening in the political arena affects our fight. It's one element of our fight. And it does not stop. It does not change. And you want to talk worst case scenario for a second? Let's talk worst case scenario. We're tearing down their system, no matter what. So, if and I hate doing this. I hate Plan B because it gets in the way of Plan A. But if Bernie was to drop out, we destroy the Democratic Party. That's the next move in this fight for anybody that needs to know. But we also infiltrate it at all levels, run progressives and Bernie-crats and get them in at all levels of government and change it from the inside like we were always going to do. We continue to wake people up. We continue to inform people. That's what we do. We move this forward because it must move forward. That's what we do. So nothing changes. But we don't need to talk about that if right now. Just as long as we understand, no matter what, we stop. Jack says, I'm top fan +1. I love it. I've been meaning, and I could find out in a second, that bothers me sometimes, that I'm so lazy and I don't use the computer in my pocket. But I've been meaning to find out what that means. Does that just mean you're awesome? Now, I already knew you were awesome, but what does the top fan +1 mean? Does anyone know? It's off topic, and it's something that would only relate to the Facebook audience. Raymond says, burn the frickin' house down. No, we tear it down. Win, lose, or draw this presidential primary, we tear it down. The Democratic Party is a corporation. They are an enemy of democracy. This is not a tantrum. This is America. Democracy needs to matter. They are an enemy of democracy and work actively to undermine it. And they are an essential part of the theater that is pushed to us as actual leadership in politics. So the Democratic Party needs to be destroyed. That's what needs to happen. No matter what. It's already what we're doing. It's already why they're terrified of us. Because what I mean is reformed from the inside out. But if they refuse, then they must be eliminated. They have to change. Jack says, because I comment so much. Oh, right on. So you're a top fan and a top commenter. I get it. So you're like a top fan plus. It's like, dude, I'm the shit. No, Jack's awesome. And I really appreciate what you do on the show, Jack. Jack, he'll say hi to everyone that shows up. And I love that. It's like having somebody, because I can't keep up. Most of the time, I'm trying to make sure there's no dead air and check comments on 2 platforms. I'm pretty busy during the show. But Jack says hi to everybody, and Jack's a lot of fun and really helps out with the feeds. So I appreciate it, and you deserve to be a top fan plus 2, Jack. You do great. But that's what it means then. So I understand now. But like I said earlier, Tulsi doing what she did, that just shows us who she is. That just shows us who she really is. And it's unfortunate, but it's good. Now we know. Now we know. A lot of people are going to be exposed in this. A lot of people will be. A lot of people have. More people will. I'm going to find out a lot. And we're finding out the truth. And the reason for that is because we are in the only fight going on. The only fight happening. So thank you for acknowledging that. Thank you for being able to see it. And thank you for doing all you can to help win it and move society forward and make real change and real progress happen and make it a possibility. Thank you. Now let's wake more people up. Let's get out there and inform more people. Let's get to a point where we are too big to rig. That's what we have to do. You can't beat rigged ass voting machines. We're dealing with exit polling that's over 13% in discrepancies. That's ridiculous. Over 4% is grounds for the UN to intervene in an election if this was a real election. But it's not. And that's not okay. And that's why the Democratic Party needs to be destroyed. So, I see a lot of burners out there. And I see a lot of despair, especially today. I can't believe this. Why would Tulsi do this? What could she be thinking? It wouldn't be crazy to me if they offered her the VP slot. They're going to do anything they can to prop up Joe Biden and force him on the American people. And it wouldn't surprise me if they offered her the VP slot. She cashed in her morals for something. Whatever it was, it'll reveal itself soon. So she did what she did for her own reasons. But what she did exposed her for who she really is. And when someone shows you who they really are, you should believe them. Jack says you need to get a hold of Ben. Please, for us all, thank you. Ben Cohen of Ben Jerry's. That would be a good interview. A big part of that, Jack, is I don't know how to get a hold of people. I'm the worst. I'm an introvert. So I gotta get over that stuff, and I gotta figure out how to do the reaching out because I'm a little limited as far as communication goes. I really only use Messenger, and I don't know how many people actually use Messenger. I don't have cell service. I have a cell phone, but it's just a rectangle box that sucks up Wi-Fi. Jack says you saw today that Joe officially asked Michelle. I saw that they were flirting with that. I had seen that they were flirting with Michelle Obama. That wouldn't surprise me. It also wouldn't surprise me if he picked Hillary. But what I do understand and what I do know that is no matter who he picks, Joe Biden is a guaranteed loser and would lose. So if Bernie really wants to beat Trump, the only way forward is to run third party. Unless we're going to continue in and tear down the DNC. Bernie has to realize this is the last stand. And if he doesn't, then we do this without him. We tear them to the ground. We make sure they don't survive this. We eliminate them. And we make sure that we vote out every corporate shill and replace them. But we only vote smart if we vote at all. I will only be voting surgically from that point on, if we get to that point. But we're not there yet, so there's no reason to despair. Carol says Hillary would not like Tulsi to be VP. I think there's a lot going on Hillary doesn't like right now. And I don't care much what Hillary likes. And I don't care much what Tulsi does at this point. Like I said, we have now went our separate ways. Tulsi Gabbard does not represent us and has shown us who she really is. So she'll go her way and cash out her establishment sellout check or whatever she got. And we'll go ours and continue moving forward. Because we're going to win. We are winning. It's not even crazy to say that. It's true. And we're already getting voter shamed. Isn't that amazing? It's like they realize they have a steaming pile of shit for a candidate. It's like they understand that Joe Biden doesn't have a very good shot at beating Donald Trump. They're already attacking us like crazy. How dare you? Why won't you vote for Biden? Sell him to me. Sell him to me. You can't. You can't. So it's not too late. It's not too late. And if you are that type of voter, you probably wouldn't be watching this show, but maybe you stumbled in on accident and you're drunk. Let me try and reason with you. You're voting out of fear of Donald Trump, and you're voting for a candidate the media is lying to you that cannot beat Donald Trump. They don't care about that because they don't care about 4 more years of Donald Trump. They're not afraid of 4 more years of Donald Trump. Matter of fact, it's one of the best things that can happen for them. They'd much rather like to have their own establishment mouthpiece in the Oval Office. But they have Trump well in hand. And they stand to lose nothing under Donald Trump. Nothing changes. Everything continues on the way it is. No real change happens under Donald Trump. They're not afraid of 4 years of Donald Trump. They're terrified of a Bernie Sanders presidency. Because a Bernie Sanders presidency represents a very active and involved population. That's what they don't like. They could easily suppress Bernie Sanders. If that's all we wanted, if all we wanted was a cute old man to be president, they would let him through. But what he wants is an active population. They can't have that shit. No, they'll do everything they can to stop that. And they are. They're acting irrationally. They're acting crazy. They're acting irresponsibly. It won't be hard to kill off. We don't walk away and we don't pout. We tear them down. We expose them for who they are. They think we campaigned hard against Hillary in 2016. You've seen nothing yet. Let us not have a candidate in this race. We will destroy you. We do not stop fighting. This change does not end. Our revolution at worst will morph into something else, will morph into direct action. It does not die. He says the DNC brought this on themselves. The DNC is a corporation and an enemy of democracy. You should feel no guilt over wanting to end that. None. None. We are not being babies. Don't let them gaslight you. Things are beyond bad. But look, there's something I think everybody needs to do just for their own sanity. We know where we sit. We know where we stand. We know we will not cave. We know we're moving forward no matter what. Don't keep telling them. I'm guilty of it myself. Stay off their posts. They're ranting and raving that they're happy with Biden. Let them come to this realization on their own. It's the only way they will get there. If you keep exhausting yourself trying to let them know that Biden's a loser, I will never vote for Biden, I will actively work against Biden. I've said these things myself. We're just doing damage. These people are dealing with a fragile version of a false reality. It will crumble on its own. Just let it. Walk away. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them. You're not going to get everybody. You're not going to convert everybody to the fight, and you're never going to get everybody to understand. Most people don't even want to take responsibility. Good thing we don't need everybody. We are powerful. They wouldn't be so afraid of us if we weren't. They are hoping that they can cut the head off this snake and take our power away. But the only thing that can do that is for us to give in, for us to back down, for us to quit. So we cannot do that. We cannot allow that to enter our mind because this must happen. And Dion says at this point, Tulsi won't help the Biden ticket with burners. No. Wouldn't bring him one. Not one. Jack says, I must be way too nice because I have never been there yet. Been where, Jack? Raymond says, thank you. That's some damn good advice. I'm going to have to watch it back. I'm completely off script today. I mean everything I'm saying. I'm trying to do my best because there's so many people that are so deeply emotionally involved in this fight. I'm one of them. I'm a very passionate person and a very emotional. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So this is hard. This is a hard, emotionally draining, exhausting, mentally exhausting fight. And it's tough. But you have to know when to do it and when not to. Maximize your opportunities, create opportunities, but let's not waste a bunch of time spinning our wheels and driving ourselves crazy. You know what I mean? We don't need everybody. And we are approaching a tipping point in society. And it's not just in America. It's happening all over the world. There were uprisings happening in multiple countries. 8, 9 different countries had people flooding the streets, rising up. And that's all been brought to a screeching halt. But there is a mass awakening happening because it must. You can only keep pushing people into the corner for so long before they strike back out of self-defense. They have to. This greed is crippling society. So people are becoming aware at a rate that they were never before. So we can win this. there's no reason to despair. And stop with the hero worship too. That's the other thing that I would recommend. Because this does not hinge on Bernie Sanders. Not that I don't credit Bernie for what he's done. He's done a fantastic job laying the groundwork and setting this all up for us. Over decades, this has taken a long time. He's done a great job. We have all the tools we need now. So no matter what happens, we're fine. And if we're committed, we will make this change happen. Because Bernie could never do it on his own anyway. And he was always very honest with us about that. That's something I never really understand. People get all mad at Bernie. Bernie's never ever once stood up there on that stage and said, I'm going to do this by myself. Ever. Has always said that it's the people. Empowering the people. That's what I love about that man anyway. He's empowering the people. Jack says, you've been to Facebook prison? Man, I've never been. I've never really been in Facebook jail. You know, I've almost wanted to actively try at times. Just to get in there. Just to get my stripes. Just so I could feel cool. He says the love of money is the root of all evil. Greed corrupts completely. You know, and there is unimaginable evil at the top of this pyramid. The people that lord over us, they don't even think of us as people. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They'll never self-correct. We must take them down. We must stop them. And like Jack says, we, us, me and you. Bernie's a great candidate, but he's just our candidate. It's our fight. Carol says, will we make it to the convention? We can. We could. If Bernie stays in, we absolutely could. But I don't know what's going to happen. I'm scared to speculate at this point, especially with this coronavirus pandemic scare. They may cancel the convention. They may make it impossible for anyone to be there. I don't know what they're going to do. But I know that they have set themselves up in a position using this fear to put a stop to us with it. At least for the moment, as far as the convention goes. But I don't want to speculate over what they'll do. Because then, yes, that brings us back to the ifs and the plan Bs. And there's just, you've seen this happening ever since they ramped it up. Right before first Super Tuesday. It's been coming at a pace that you cannot even react to it before the next thing happens. So I think we need to stay nimble and not focus too much digging down different rabbit holes of what ifs. We need to stay focused on what actually is happening. Raymond says, consider Bernie the father of our revolution. It's up to us to make this work. Absolutely. I'm not mad at Bernie. You know, he hasn't even done nothing yet, and I'm already wanting everybody to understand that no matter what he does, I think that man has dedicated his life to our movement, has 40 plus years of service to our revolution, has built us a fantastic organization, and empowered millions of people. I can't be mad at him. I can't. You know? Not that I never have been. Not that I've never disagreed with him. It's just really hard for me to be mad at him. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I know there are people that are. I know there are people that expect him to do everything on his own, but I don't really see how that's realistic. Jack says, I've been there for reals. I still like you too, Jack. I don't know if that's what Carol was referencing, but we all have skeletons in our closet. We all have things in our past. They don't define you. So I know the Jack that's before me today, and everything that's happened in that Jack's life has made Jack who he is. So Jack's a good man. I like Jack. I'm a big Jack supporter. But what do you guys think? I've rattled on for about 45 minutes now on my opinions on what this means and our fight moving forward. And we didn't really do much of a motivational talk because there's not much to talk about right now. Right now, we're waiting to see what Bernie's going to do, and we're all stuck in this pandemic scare. It's kind of hard right now. Right now, but our job doesn't change, and we keep doing what we do. Keep spreading the truth, keep being the media, keep informing people, keep waking people up. But thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for hanging out. This is the Daily Bern, and we do this every day at 7 from our Revolution War Room. Join the page and follow the show, because we're going to keep going no matter what happens. Josh, the end is near. The end is near. This is our last stand. Everything is on the line here. I think America as we know it, and we got into that last night on Conspiracy Theories and Chill, I think we're in big trouble. I think we're in big trouble. If we don't make this happen, things could get really, really bad. But we're going to make this happen. We are making this happen. We will win. And it is thanks to every one of you that we will. Your ownership and your determination and your belief is what's going to drive us forward and is what's going to bring their greed-driven system crumbling to the ground. We are going to win. So thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. And thank you for everything that you do. Dion says, thank you, Sean. You're cheaper than a therapist. Well, I appreciate that because this show is hard for me. I'm not going to lie. I've stopped building myself up to do it, though, because at a certain point it was making me repetitive, and it was also making me lie. Like I didn't want to be completely honest with you. So that's no good. But we still have to be in that belief. You have to work on that belief and work on your mindset and work on what you think about. And if you focus on that and focus on your thoughts, you can strengthen your mind and strengthen your resolve. Hey, Raymond, you said you put me on follow. See you tomorrow, man. Carol says, can't wait to see y'all again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Right on. Well, we're going to get out of here for tonight, but keep fighting. And no matter what happens, like I said, we keep going. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been the Daily Bern, and I'll see you tomorrow